Welcome, friends and family. Hope y'all are off to a phenomenal Monday morning. Hope you guys are looking for to have an incredible week this Monday and the rest of this week. I want to welcome you today to our Motivational Monday. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're reading through the book, The 17 Irrefutable Laws of Teamwork, written by John Maxwell. And this week, we were talking about the law of Mount Everest. The law of Mount Everest says this. As the challenge escalates, the need for teamwork elevates. So as the challenge escalates, the need for teamwork elevates. So the bigger the challenge, the more the need for a team, right? I was thinking a funny story. I was like, I remember a time in my life when I was a youth minister, and yeah, it was early on in the beginning of my life. I was probably somewhere around the ages of 24, 25. And I started a bus ministry. And I would take this bus, I would go pick up kids from all over the Sparta community, and I would bring them to church. At that time, I attended Life and Praise. It had a big red cross on it. And loved doing it, loved working with kids, just enjoyed it so much. But the old van that we had was just an old rinky-dink van. It was in poor shape, and I'll never forget. One day, I'm bringing these kids to church, and it was only a 15-passenger van. Unfortunately, I didn't have anybody that was willing to help me at that time with the bus ministry. So instead of doing what we should have probably done and only had 15 kids in that van, I was getting 18, 20, sometimes more, packing them on this van to bring them to church. And I'm riding down the road. I'm real close to the church, and I'm riding down the road, and all of a sudden I hear a kind of like a clunk, and I didn't know what it was. I'm scared. I've got 20 kids on this bus. I'm like, oh, felt my heart drop. And all of a sudden, I see my tire rolling past my driver's side window. And there it goes. I'm thinking, is that my tire? What's it doing? Going past me. And I was able to just kind of pull the vehicle over to the side. Thankfully, somebody came and jacked us up, put us a tire on it, and away we went. There I am with 18, 19 kids standing outside of a bus, jacking. I'm sweating. I'm like, this isn't good. These parents aren't going to ever let these kids come to church with us again if I don't do a better job than this. But look, guys, here's what learned at that time. There's no excuse for not having a good van to pick up kids to bring them to church. We should have had at least two people to every bus. I shouldn't have been the only one driving. There should have been somebody else in there with me. And we should have been having like a whole nother bus out picking up more kids. So what I realized was my dream was to bus in as many kids as possible, but without the proper team, without the proper equipment, it wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. And so either I was going to have to give up the dream or build a team. And how about you? Have you guys ever had a time in your life where perhaps you had a really big dream and you got excited, very enthusiastic about accomplishing it, just to find out that it just ain't going to happen? You're just not quite capable of achieving whatever that dream is. I know that can be a very disheartening feeling. It can be very let down. It can be an emotional time. Um, Maybe you have a dream now. Maybe it's a really big dream. And because of some of the failures in the past, you're scared to really let yourself dream, to even think that you can accomplish it. Well, again, I've got good news to you, good news for you. And it comes right here from the law of Mount Everest. As the challenge escalates, the need for teamwork elevates. You know, that I always enjoyed the Rocky movies. The great Rocky Balboa. Loved watching Rocky. He was somebody that was just fun for me to watch. Loved his movies. I think you probably enjoy those movies as well. I think a lot of people probably caught a lot of inspiration from Rocky. Well, let's talk about Rocky. In Apollo 1 there and 2, Rocky 1 and 2, he had a dream, right? Like he had a big dream. His dream was to be number one, top dog boxer. That's where he wanted to be, number one in the boxing. But that was a really big dream for a kid off the streets of Philadelphia who hadn't had that a lot of opportunities to ever, really he was just kind of a thug. Didn't really have a lot of opportunities, but he had a big dream. And what's one of the first things that Rocky did when he had a big dream? He got a coach, right? Mick. You guys remember Mick, crusty old man, tough on Rocky, always give him a hard time, kind of was just in his corner, but tough on him. But he was there to help Rocky when he fell down, help Rocky pick him back up when he was needed, and would get him in the gym or encourage him to keep going to extra rounds, right? So you had Mick, the great coach. You had Adrian who believed in him, Adrian who held his heart while he went out there and fought like he fought for Adrian who believed in him maybe when nobody else did, Mick who made him tougher, got him to continue to go in that gym, and then plus right like a whole gym that he had where he went and he'd have people that would spar with him, people that would get in the ring with him, people that would help him, coach him, speed bags, right? So he had it wasn't just Rocky who was going to accomplish that dream. He had a whole team working with him, believing in him, encouraging him, sparring with him day after day to eventually, and you know what? I want to say this too. He even had Apollo. Without Apollo, he couldn't have accomplished his dream. Without your Mount Everest, without your dream, without that big mountain to climb, then really it's not a dream. So he had Apollo. He had to beat Apollo, right? So we got to thank God for our Mount Everest. We got to thank God for our Apollos. David had Goliath, right? Without Goliath, David doesn't appear to be the champion he is. So we need a mountain to climb. We need a dream in our life to it ain't about accomplishing it. It's about what we become in the process. What we become as we get up every day, as we invite people to come into our life and coach and mentor us, as we find people that we can spar with so that we can get better. It's about what we become in that process. It's about who we become in the process of achieving our dream. And the really cool thing is, guys, we've all watched Rocky. We know he got there. We know he won, right? And he became inspiration for a lot of people. Well, here's the cool thing. Whatever your dream is, I want to challenge you. Don't give up on it. Don't quit thinking about it. Don't quit praying about it. Really pray about it. Really pray about who is the right people to put around me to support me in achieving the dream. And then take action on it and be consistent. Go after it daily. Go after it daily because a big dream is going to take a big team, and it ain't usually going to happen overnight. Rocky didn't get to be where he could beat Apollo. In fact, the first one he didn't win. Took 2 times getting in that ring. So he didn't give up. He didn't throw in the towel. He stayed fighting. And here's the deal. We are fighters. And here's the really cool thing, guys, that once we achieve our dream, once we climb to the top, then man, we don't stop there, right? We look back. We say to others that maybe are having a hard time continuing to dream, maybe having a hard time to achieve theirs. We can be that inspiration. We can reach down. We can help them to climb that mountain. The cool thing about climbing a mountain is once you've done it, then you know how to go back and help somebody else do it. And gosh, really, if you think about it, as you continue to watch the Rockies, that's what he did, right? He helped Creed eventually one day climb that mountain. So guys, go out there, work hard, pray about it. Always look for the right people to put in your life. And just remember the law of Mount Everest, right? The bigger the challenge, the bigger the mountain, the greater the need to elevate the team. Have a great week. Thank you.